Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is a highly requested one, and you ladies have been asking me to make a list of leather fragrances for women. So I've comprised a list for you. These are some of my favorite leather fragrances that I wear on my own skin. I have been known to wear masculine fragrances. Leather is one of my favorite notes, as I've mentioned many times before, and I'm sure you guys know. Let's get into the list of my favorite leather fragrances. Now, the list that I've made here, most of these are affordable because I thought, well, there are so many amazing niche fragrances out there that are unisex that feature a note of leather as a dominant note. So there are countless ones from the Armani Privé line. There are some beautiful Chanel exclusives like Cuir de Russie. There's Le Lion, which kind of has a leathery smell that just came out. I'm not going to talk about those super expensive frou-frou niche fragrances. I'm talking about leathers that are on the affordable side. So I'm ballparking in and around $100 per bottle. They're very unique smelling, but you don't have to shell out the big bucks to smell very fancy and bougie and leathery and badass. With that being said, let's get into my list of leather fragrances that ladies can easily rock. The first one is Kalesh from Hermes, and this one, I only have a teeny tiny bottle because I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this leather, and I was worried it would be a little bit too animalic because I've heard references of it being compared to horses and riding, and I wasn't sure about it, but it is stunning. This is not a sweet leather. This does smell like a very expensive leather handbag. It has a touch of that makeup-y accord, like a lipstick. There's rose, there's iris. That powderiness is here, like the smell of an expensive bag that has had makeup in there. There is a touch of sweetness, just a touch of sweetness. There is a note of mimosa in here, and it's a little bit of a honey-esque quality, but this is mainly leather. It's a very soft leather. Like, think of like lambskin, a lambskin jacket or a lambskin bag, and just some expensive fancy makeup in there. It's very elegant. I have got lots of compliments on this one. I have worn it to work, and I've actually been complimented at work on this fragrance. So I would say that this one is safe to wear to the office and generally around people. There's nothing offensive about this fragrance, and I really need to get myself a full bottle of this one very soon. It's gorgeous. The next fragrance is Fan Defend, and I'm a big fan of the Fendi brand. There are a few fragrances from Fendi that I love. This one's pretty good, but I want to get the extreme version. This is fruity. This is a fruity, there's a very juicy tangerine note that's in the opening. It's beautiful. There's black currant, and it's a fruity floral leather. But to me, it also smells like there's vanilla in here, even though there is no note of vanilla listed. It's quite a playful, easy to wear leather. I would say the note of leather is strongly supported by sweet, playful notes. There's jasmine and tuberose. There's the black currant note. I think there's pear as well. And it's a very easy intro to leather. So if you're just starting off with leather, trying Fan Defend, like wear it a couple of times. It's a great intro to leather fragrance, and it's quite beautiful. The next fragrance is Anjou Démon Le Parfum from Givenchy, and this is another great intro to leather fragrance. The leather isn't as in the foreground of this one. It plays more of a supporting note. This is mainly a jasmine fragrance. There's also a juicy tangerine note in here, but it's a very sexy, seductive jasmine scent. First, when I smelled it, I thought it reminded me of Alien, but it does not. There's more vanilla in here. It's softer. It's much more calm. It's more subdued. It's a somewhat similar jasmine note, but nothing like Alien. So my first impression of this fragrance was wrong. It's supple, it's very gentle leather. It's a really, really nice fragrance, very sexy, and I love this for a night out. This is just, it's very elegant and grown up. And it has the softness that a clean musk brings. There's that really nice softness in there, but also a lot of warmth from the amber that's in here. The leather does only play a supporting note. This is not leather forefront, but definitely one to check out with a note of leather. The next fragrance is technically a niche fragrance, but very affordable. It's from the house of d'Orsay, and this is L'Intrigante. I haven't spoken about this one very often, but I do like it. The problem with this one is that the longevity isn't great, but the fragrance is stunning. It has that old school elegance. It has a beautiful note of carnation. It has camellia as well. It's got a little bit of a spiciness to it, like that elegant old school spiciness. If you're familiar with the note of carnation, it's in here. And there's suede, so it's not leather, it's suede. It's a little bit softer, a little bit smoother. And a lot of florals. There's definitely a lot of florals. You have to like your florals to appreciate this fragrance, but it's very rich as well. There's myrrh. There's a lot of interesting notes. Really classic smelling. I really love this fragrance. It's a beautiful scent, and that scent of camellia, it's rare to come by in fragrances. It is in the forefront in this fragrance, as well as the suede note. It is quite prominent. And carnation. This is hard carnation. So if you're a carnation lover, you like this. If you don't like carnation, stay away from this one. The next one I would say is pretty likable and extremely affordable, and this is from Banana Republic. This one I've mentioned a few times, and it's called Black Platinum. Black Platinum is one of my absolute favorite fragrances, as silly as it sounds, a Banana Republic fragrance, but yes, I absolutely love it. It has a certain metallic quality about it, but also some sweetness. I love the sweetness that's in here. This reminds me a little bit of the Narciso for Her black bottle, but that one's a lot more musky. This one's not as musky, and it's not as dry. This is a little bit more airy and playful. It's juicier. The leather note here is beautiful. There's also a note of cactus or cactus flower. There's pink pepper in here. And I think it's one of the most unique fragrances I've ever smelled. It does smell niche quality to me. The only problem, again, is longevity. So just overspray it, spray it on clothing. But I think that everybody needs to try Black Platinum. It is one of my absolute favorites, as I've already mentioned. The next fragrance is from Serge Lutens, and this is Dame Blonde. This is also, well, I guess technically unisex, but also very easy for women to wear. This has a note of suede, it has iris. The notes that are listed in here, there's apricot. It doesn't really give the right impression of what this actually smells like. To me, this smells like being in a sauna. If you've ever been in a cedar sauna that's all full of cedar and that heavy air and the smell of that wood in a sauna, that's what it smells like to me. So it's a very interesting take on suede. It's honestly, the notes tell me absolutely nothing about how this smells, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, apricot this and iris and cardamom and list you the notes, because for this fragrance, truly, it doesn't speak to what it really smells like. This smells like the experience of being in a sauna to me, and it's quite beautiful. I love it for the fall and winter, mostly for the fall. It warms you up, this type of smell. I would say this is quite unisex with maybe a slight feminine leaning quality to it. The next fragrance is from Guerlain, and this is La Petite Noire, and this is the Black Perfecto. I have the floral version, but the original Black Perfecto is great as well. This one is more about the rose. I do like rose. I think the original Black Perfecto is more about the cherry. This one doesn't seem to have a cherry note, though it does smell a little bit like there is cherry. To me, it smells like there's cherry and almond along with the rose, even though they're not listed. And this is sexy. This is edgy and sweet, and it's girly. It's probably the most girly of all the ones that I've showed you so far. I think it's a very playful take on leather. This makes me think of dressing up, wearing a leather jacket, having bright pink lipstick on and big hair, and kind of like Sandy at the end of Grease. This is the image I see with the Black Perfecto. It's awesome. It's bad Sandy at the end of Grease. The next two fragrances are honorable mentions. The first one is from Oakcha. I've mentioned this brand a couple times. Guys, I have no affiliation to this brand. They just sent me some fragrances for free, and I had also purchased stuff from them. Same thing with Oil Perfumery. I don't know. I heard there was a couple of service issues. I have no idea what that's about, but the scent of Ludic is very good. I really like Ludic. It's a dupe of Eau de Memo. It's leather with tea and citrus and jasmine, and it's a zingy, zesty take on leather. The combination with the tea, it's my favorite. I love tea and I love leather, and you slap them together and you get something incredible. And so if you guys don't want to go for Ludic, go for Eau de Memo, but that one is expensive. I'm kind of trying to stay budget friendly here. I'm gonna link all my promo codes in the description box for you guys. And the last fragrance is a unisex one. It's an honorable mention because I hear it's discontinued. However, I still see it everywhere for a really affordable price. I've seen it for about 40 bucks on perfumeonline.ca. I've seen it on Fragrance, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Fragrance Net as well, on Amazon, which is great because you can just go ahead and return it if you don't like it. I will link that for you guys as well. This fragrance is mostly about leather and vanilla. There's also a tea note in here, and this fragrance is known for smelling like rubber and tires, and it kind of looks like a tire. And I will tell you, yes, it does have a little bit of that scent, but it's not off-putting. I wear it and I love it. It's really, really unique. Like, it smells a lot like Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris. That one's discontinued and super expensive and hard to find. This actually is somewhat of a better blend, and I prefer this one. And it's really sexy on guys as well. I really like the leather that's in here, the combination with the vanilla, that warm ambery and musky base that it has. It's very beautiful. It's so well made. So if you want to try something not sweet, something with a little bit more of like a punch to it, a little bit more edgy, this one's awesome. I turns out really like Bulgari, as I've learned throughout this year. And those are all of my favorite leather fragrances for women. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.